Hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. I thought I would just do an updated favourites or recent favourites of things I've been loving. I've bought a couple of new materials. I've done some swatching short videos for YouTube, so hopefully you've seen them, where I've been swatching some distress crayons and distress inks. And they have become a firm favourite. More the crayons than the inks. Still love the inks, but the crayons have definitely, they are right up there as a top favourite for me at the moment. So I'm going to talk about them and some other ones. So straight into it. Pith sketchbooks. I would say now that these have slightly overtaken, well, not even slightly overtaken, they have overtaken Royal Talons, and Pink Pig is like my favourite sketchbook to use. So the Royal Talons, let me get one. Royal Talons is this one here. It's got like off-white paper, very smooth, quite a nice size. I like this size here, which is just slightly smaller than an A5, but I've used the A4 one as well. Really quite a handy size, inexpensive. Still love that. Would still buy it. I am still going to buy it. This is a new one I've just started, but when I get so far through, I'll probably order another one. So it is one I will still buy. They're relatively inexpensive compared to a lot of other sketchbooks. I think I want to say it's like £7 or £8, but I might be wrong there. But this is a good size to start with. They do even smaller ones as well. So still love that. But Pith sketchbooks, this is the A4 size one, which I think might be called the Oro Blanco, but I might be wrong with that. And I just love it. I love the colours that you can get, but the paper for me is just fantastic. It's smooth, quite a good weight of paper, and it's perfect for mixed media. Absolutely perfect for mixed media, and I absolutely love it. The other one, which I have used recently, I've talked about this, is an odd orange one, which is very similar in the sense it's very smooth paper. I think it's slightly whiter, just a little bit whiter than the Pith. It's a bit thicker or heavier weight. And it's again great for mixed media. However, this is a very small business and they hand bound, so they are quite expensive. And I bought one just to try and I really loved it. Would I be buying loads of it all of the time? No, not because I don't love it, but because of the price, really. It would be a treat every now and again. Whereas the Pith, I just love it. And they've brought out, what I love about it is they have brought out a couple of different sizes. So I've used a very small Pith, which I've talked about one here before, and this A4 size. Love it. They've also brought out this slightly smaller than A4 size, bit bigger than A5, and they've also brought out, let me get one. I haven't used this size yet, but they've also brought out an A5 size. So they've got, and then they've got the smaller one. So they've got 4 different sizes. And I think that's great. And I love the paper. I love the fact that it opens flat. It's fantastic for mixed media, which I've already said. And I love the fact that they've got these 2 new different sizes directly. They also are stocked on Jackson's website as well, which is great. Yeah, they're based up in Northumberland, I want to say as well. So a great northeast company, and I'm obviously based in the northeast as well. So it's nice to support local to me as well. So I'll demonstrate them on here. You probably hear loads of birds outside, which is quite nice background noise. But for me, I also have got a new microphone, a little microphone, I'm hoping the sound's going to be a bit better because I was quite conscious that I was just using my iPhone for sound. So I'm kind of hoping this is a little bit better. I'll see, obviously, when I edit it, whether I think it is or not. Hopefully it is. We will see. So, distress crayons and distress inks. So, I heard about these from Emma Carlisle mainly, and a couple of other artists that I follow. Subsequently, they've cropped up on my thing as using them as well. I think because Emma was looking for a dupe for I forgot what they're called. Something by Karen Dash. I want to say Karen Dash. She was looking for a dupe for something that you can no longer get. My memory's gone completely blank, and I might cut this out of the video. She's looking for a dupe for something that is obviously being discontinued. It was very hard to get in this country anyway. If I remember what they are called, I will put them in. I'll put a bar up with what they're called. And she came across these. They're by Tim Holt. Distress crayons and distress inks. I think they do a different type of these distress inks. I think they're mainly aimed at crafters, but they're just brilliant. So I've bought a few of the sets now, which I have done the swatching for on my shorts. So do check them out. And they're just so good. This one here I've used a lot. This is Wild Honey. And I ordered a couple of sets to begin with, as well as some of the inks, because I had a feeling from the way Emma described it and showed them. She showed it on her Patreon. I'm obviously a patron of Emma's, and I thought, I think I'm going to like them. They seemed a bit like a neo colour, but softer than neo colour, and I do like a neo colour, so I thought, well, I think I'm going to like these. So, and they're very smooshy would be the word I would use. You can literally smoosh them around and together, and they just, they just glide on, particularly on this type of paper, this smooth pith paper. They just glide on lovely, and yeah, you can just smush them around on the page. How many times can I say smush? Quite a few. And you get this gorgeous texture, particularly when you blend it. So you can blend them together. Obviously, you can use them on their own, and you can leave it like that. But they also are water soluble. So what's this one here? This is crushed olive. So if I get a paintbrush, they also are water soluble and they wash out. How great is that? So they are really much like Neocolor 2 crayons. However, they are more, what's the right phrase? They're not as wax crayon like, because obviously Neocolor 2's like a wax crayon. You can get Neocolor 1s or Neocolor 2s. So the Neocolor 1s are not water soluble, the Neocolor 2s are water soluble. And they're more like a wax crayon. Whereas these, I wouldn't even know where to begin to describe these, but the texture's lovely. Stop, there's a dog barking outside, so apologies if you can still hear that. What I like about these as well is you can get the distress inks in the same colours as the crayons, or a lot of the same colours as the crayons. What I would say a downside is you can't just buy like one crayon. You have to buy them in sets. So there might be certain colours that you don't want in the set, but you really like one of them. So that is a downside that I haven't found anywhere as of yet. Maybe they might crop up on eBay and things like that, but I haven't found anyone where you can just buy them on their own. So this one, for example, this is a gorgeous colour. This is called Old Paper. They've got brilliant names as well. And then I've got the little distress ink in the same colour, and look at that, they're spot on as well. So yeah, these are great as well for, these are not really water soluble, so you can't, I think that's just residue left on my brush, let me see. Yeah, you can't really do anything with these once they're sort of on, but they are great for just getting a bit of colour down, a bit of background onto your page. They've got brilliant names as well. So this one's pumice stone. You can, if you're quick enough, or if you get quite a bit on, you can move it around. I was listening to a podcast that Emma does with her friend Harriet called Tiny Pencils Podcast, and they were talking about these ink demonstration. It might have been a video or something of him using these, and it was used on a bit of plastic, so acetate. Put them on the acetate, like moved them all around together, and then applied it to your paper. So that might be the way forward with it. But I'm just loving them the way they are at the moment, if any of that made sense, hopefully. But there's just some, look at these muted colours. They're just so lovely. I love the fact that you can either use them as a crayon, or you can wash them out as well with some water. The colours are fantastic. I've got a whole like box of them here. I mean, you know, there's ones I've obviously used more than others so far, but like they are just really, really good. And you don't get the same colours in the sets, so obviously you would need to look at them to see which ones you wanted. I was looking at those two just there because I thought, are they the same colour? But they're not. One's ice spruce and the other one's weathered wood. So you get different colours in different sets, so you'd have to look at them. So far, I love all of the colours that I've got. I may have not used them all yet, but I'm reaching for them all of the time when I'm doing things in my sketchbook, whether that be the inks or mainly the distress crayons that I'm reaching for all of the time. And I think I will just use them now in my work all of the time. The next one I want to talk about is these Inktense and also art grafts. I've been using my art grafts, which is great because it's one of those things that I had them and I was like, oh, I don't really know how to use them. Well, and I like, or how to use them in my work. Wasn't really reaching for them, but I've started using them a bit more. And this one, unfortunately, is broken, but it's still usable. This one is Sanguine. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Move that. And you obviously can draw on the page like that. You can wet it and draw on the page with it wet. Or obviously if I draw on the page, if I didn't want to wet it first to draw on the page, I could then use a brush on them like that. And then I can also draw into them. So they work very similarly to the Inktense sticks and the Inktense pencils. And again, the Inktense blocks, sticks, blocks, whatever we want to call them, I haven't reached for as much. I love them, but I just haven't reached for them. I've been using my pencils more. I've talked about them before. The main one that I love, where is it? Because it's so tiny, is sepia. But I use them all of the time. Love them. They're such a great pencil to use. Use the Inktense sticks before. Love them, but just it's not been something that I've actively reached for a long time. I, however, have been actively reaching for them in my work recently, and I've loved them. Not all of the colours I've got here, I don't have loads, but I've been using this one quite a bit. I've no idea what they are either, which isn't very helpful. but this orangey yellow one, which is like, sorry, I'm wobbling the camera, which is like looks like an intense egg yolk colour. Been loving it. See again, look, so you can draw, wash it out, you can then draw into it. You can wet the stick directly and then use the stick to draw on like that. Yeah, just love them. So I've been using these a lot, particularly that yellowy one. I've been using this one, which again, no idea what it is. It's like a red colour, a bit like this sanguine colour. I don't think this was sanguine, but using that a lot, you can layer them up. Yeah, just loving them. Been reaching for them a lot more. Been reaching for the art graph a bit more, and I like that because, you know, the whole idea of having these, you know, any sort of art materials is that you use them and you use them in your work. So, you know, to have them there and, you know, not be reaching them for them because, you know, things come along that you think, oh, I prefer that, or something new comes along and you like using that, or you don't need it in your particular work. But it's nice when you go back to something, you think, oh yeah, I'll use that, and you find how much you love it, or you find out just how much that will fit into the work that you're doing. So the ones that I've been loving are sanguine and sepia. I love sepia, love a bit of sepia. Might have been using the white a little bit as well. So yeah, I'm quite happy to be using more of them. I've used this a couple of times as well, and I've been quite enjoying this, and I want to use more of this. So it's gonna get an honourable mention because I have started to use it again. It's something I bought because I thought I really want to use. I really like the idea of that. I want to use that in some quick sketches, etc. But then I hadn't used it. But it looks like I haven't used it, but I have used it. So this is the art graph. So the other things I showed you, these are the art graph, like Taylor chalk things. And I'm sure they call, oh yeah, Taylor shaped water soluble art graph. They don't come in tons of colour, those, tons of colours, those, but I like them. And whereas this is the art graph watercolour graphite. So this is graphite, obviously in a tin. It's quite handy to have about to use for sketches. I want to start doing a bit more life drawing, so I might do some online classes for that. I think this will come in really handy, so that's a bit of an honourable mention. The last thing I want to mention, I think I've talked long enough, is really my Mars Black. Lightfast, Derwent Lightfast, Mars Black. Love it. Look at that colour. Yeah, absolutely love this. I've bought backups of this pencil. I think I talked about that in a last Jackson's video. I've now got all my backup pencils in a separate place because I had them all in with the pencils, and I thought, no, I need to separate my backups out. So when one runs out, I know what I've got and what I don't have, because I was getting myself all confused, which doesn't take a lot. Anyway, Derwent Lightfast, Mars Black, really love it. Love it for line work. Yeah, detailing. Absolutely love it. Thank you for watching. Hope you found it useful. Particularly maybe if the distress crayons are something new to yourself, they're definitely something new to me, and happy to discuss them maybe more in another video, or use them in another video in a sketch. Might do that for the next video. We will see. Right, thank you very much for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed it, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.